Greetings, NASCAR enjoyers, and welcome to Gateway. This is the first time that the Xfinity Series is going to be racing at Gateway since 2010. But anyways, the Xfinity Series return to Gateway begins with Connor Zillisch and Nick Sanchez battling for the lead. Zillisch manages to clear Sanchez, and he would be the one to have the fastest lap of the race. Eric Almirola jumps up to 6. Zillisch gets past Sanchez for 2nd. And Sanchez fell back to 5th. Mayer and Almirola battle for 3rd. Jesse Love gets past Harrison for 10th. So far, not much is going on. Almirola and Zillisch battle for 2nd, and Almirola manages to get past him. Even with Almirola getting faster and faster, Zillisch still wins the first stage of the Xfinity Series return to Gateway. And the caution just came out as Jordan Anderson just hit the wall and wrecked his car, which means that the stage ended under a caution. But anyways, our first race off of pit road begins, and William Zillisch wins the race off pit road. Also, Austin Hill beat Zillisch off of pit road. Oh, come on! You shouldn't let him get past you. Yeah, they should have sabotaged his pit crew while they had the chance, but they couldn't do that, though. You can't sabotage pit crews. So yeah, anyways. The second stage begins with Zillisch jumping to the lead. And just when Zillisch got past Hill, Allgaier jumps up to 2nd and makes one heck of a move. Holy crapper, this is getting intense. And all of a sudden, Allgaier gets past Zillisch for the lead. He's still got it. Meanwhile, Zillisch falls back to 4th while Almirola and Zillisch battle for 2nd. Also, Jesse Love is in 5th. Just don't let him get the lead. Zillisch also manages to get past Zillisch after he attempted to block Zillisch and failed. Mayer manages to get past Jesse Love for 5th. Ryan Sieg attempts to get past DT, that's Dean Thompson by the way, but fails to do so. Almirola and Allgaier battle for the lead, and contact ensues when Almirola attempted to get past him. Both drivers have to deal with Zillisch. After an intense battle for the lead, Allgaier wins the second stage of the Xfinity Series return to Gateway. But anyways, our next race off the pit road begins, and this time, Zillisch wins the race off pit road. With just 82 to go, the third and final stage begins with Zillisch jumping to the lead while Zillisch has to deal with the 2 RCR drivers. Meanwhile, Corey Day is currently running in 8th. Jesse Love and Connor Zillisch battle for the lead. Jesse tried to get close, but Zillisch is just that fast as he manages to pull away. Yeah, you think that's a next-gen problem? Drivers pulling away and trying to play follow the leader? No. It's a problem with all NASCAR series. Zillisch now has a 1-second lead gap over Jesse Love. There's just no stopping him. Eckes and Corey Day battle for 7th. Eric Almirola gets past Love for 2nd, and both drivers start getting caught up in lap traffic. Austin Hill and Brandon Jones battle for 5th. Corey Day gets past Eckes for 7th. So far, it's been the Connor Zillisch show. Well, aside from Allgaier winning the second stage. And the caution just came out as Jeff Burton wrecked his car. Please don't let this ruin the outcome of the race. Even worse is the fact this car starts catching fire. Hopefully it can't get any worse, right? Right? Also, Sheldon Creed just got himself locked up into the chase. But anyways, nearly every driver comes down to pit road, and Connor Zillisch wins the race off pit road yet again. The caution ends with Zillisch and Almirola battling for the lead. Contact ensues with BJ Brandon Jones, not BJ McLeod, and Almirola, and because of that, Almirola fell back to 3rd. More checkups happen as Corey Day holds off Eck. Not even the caution can stop CZ. And another caution just came out. Brendan Poole just prevented himself from getting involved with Harrison Burton as he spun out. Austin Hill also had to come down to pit road as he had issues with his car, and as expected, Harrison Burton and Sammy Smith joined in alongside him. Sammy also had issues with brake fluid, but he's still in the race. But anyways, the caution ends with Zillisch jumping to the lead, and Another caution just came out But anyways, the caution ends with Zillisch jumping to the lead, and another caution just came out as a huge wreck just happened, which was caused by Sheldon Creed. Oh my good golly. Sam Mayer gets into the wall and wrecked his car. Not even Allgaier and Sanchez are safe. Also, Sheldon Creed just lost a gear. Sammy Smith comes down to pit road yet again. But anyways, the caution ends with Zillisch jumping to the lead yet again. And Sawallich falls back when he tried to jump up just when Amarola is trying to run down Zillisch. Another caution just came out for debris. Good lord, can we please get the race started already? Fingers crossed if we get a full lap this time around. Here we go. The race eventually restarts with Zillisch and Amarola battling for the lead. And Zillisch does not want to give up the lead, especially when there's contact. Yeah, contact with him and Amarola. Well, it is a contact sport after all, so what do you expect? And all of a sudden, Ekis joins the chat as he jumped up to 6. Amarola starts falling behind. Zillisch still leads in with Sawallich on his tail. Sawallich and Zillisch continue to go at it. Ekis just moved up to 3rd. Wait, what? Even on the final lap, Sawallich just can't get past Zillisch, and he's just too fast. This just goes to show that Zillisch is just too fast, man. And just like that, Zillisch adds another trophy to his collection as he wins the Xfinity Series return to Gateway. At first, the race wasn't exciting, but then it got really exciting in the end, and Zillisch did a great job of managing to hold off Amarola. So yeah, it gets a 9 out of 10. Easily a great race to remember. But anyways, on to the Cup race. Greetings, NASCAR enjoyers, and welcome to the second part of the Gateway double feature, where we will take a look at the Cup Series race. Bill Murray is the Grand Marshal. Holy crapper, that's the biggest surprise yet. If Dan Aykroyd or Ernie Hudson became the Grand Marshal at Watkins Glen, that would be awesome. Heck, seeing Dan Aykroyd as the Grand Marshal at Indianapolis, or pretty much a Canadian race, it doesn't have to be a NASCAR race, it could be on the Honda Indy Markham, would be just as cool. But anyways, the Cup Series race at Gateway begins with the Pyrotechnics show and Denny Hamlin jumping to the lead. Larson is right behind Hamlin. Ah, crap. Larson just got past Hamlin. I'm really hoping he gets past him. Even worse is the fact that Briscoe is right behind him as Hamlin starts falling behind. Here's to hoping that the pit stops come into play. So far, not much is going on, as to be expected with the whole next-gen car, but I like the next-gen car, though. I think it actually looks good. Like, there's a lot of haters with the next-gen car, but I'm one of those people who actually likes it, by the way. Ryan Blaney joins the chat as he battles Briscoe for 3rd. Kyle Larson is now 4 seconds ahead of Hamlin. Oh my good golly, is there anyone that could stop him? Just when Chastain and Free Willy battle for 6, a caution just came out as Kyle Busch gets loose and lost control. Poor Bushy, am I right? Like, what the frick? Keep in mind, Michael Roos was expecting Kyle Busch to win. Yeah, and that's bad. Yeah, he should be the playoff spoiler. Yeah, do you really think that 1,000 horsepower is going to fix the issue? Because Kyle Busch basically made a complaint about the next-gen cars. They're hard to drive and, well, they're hard to tune, but having, like, that much horsepower will only make it good for straight line speed. Yeah, like, I used to be one of those people that are obsessed with horsepower, but I learned that horsepower isn't everything because I became a true car guy. And true car guys know that there's more to being fast than horsepower. Power to weight ratio is also a factor in how fast cars go. Hopefully, this will give Hamlin a chance to pass Larson. But anyways, several drivers pit in under caution and Prosper Texas wins the race off pit road. Kyle Larson just fell back due to the fact that he didn't have the best pit stop, which is rare for Kyle Larson himself. Could be worse, as Reddick has a loose lug nut and got penalized for stopping at another driver's pit box. Dang it! Yeah, but he had to do it though. It was a necessary evil as he had to tighten the lug nut. Again, I like the single lugs. They have design flaws, but they make the NASCAR cars look more modern as opposed to the 5 lugs, which don't look nearly as modern in my opinion. That's just my opinion, though. But anyways, the caution ends with Hamlin continuing to lead, and all of a sudden, Larson just jumps up to 4th. Briscoe overtook Hamlin for the lead. Dang it! Just don't let Larson get past you. Hamlin is not slowing down. Just like that, another caution just came out as Josh Berry gets taken out by Chase Elliott and hits the wall. The damage was so bad that he got a BeamNG wheel and had to go to the garage. Things are not looking good for Josh in the playoffs. Anyways, the caution ends with Briscoe jumps to the lead, and just like that, Briscoe wins the first stage of the 2025 Enjoy Illinois 400. Seriously, that name sounds like a frat. That name, it legitimately sounds like a frat. It's probably why I called it Energy Illinois 400 instead of Enjoy Illinois 400. And there was a lot that I missed out because I was watching the race while in the car, and there were issues with the video trying to load and dead zones because the cell towers aren't strong enough to overpower for forests and stuff like that. Yada yada yada. But anyways, as expected, we do get our pit stop. And the second stage begins with Larson jumping to the lead. Zane Smith is battling Chase Elliott for fourth. And then all of a sudden, Suarez hits the wall and causes a caution. Wait, that's a caution? Like, all he did was freaking hit the wall. Yeah, it was huge impact, but it's on the same level as that Martin Truex Jr. caution last year. Several drivers come down to pit road during caution, and there will be no race on pit road this time around. The caution ends with what else? Larson leading. Chase Elliott just got past Free Willy for second. Wait, what? Taco Bell, yeah, that's Christopher Bell, by the way, is in a battle for third with Reddick and Elliott. Hamlin is running in 10th, and SVG is in 25th. He's just not having any luck on ovals. Just when Reddick and Hubba Bubba are battling for fourth, another caution just came out. The Dillon brothers have contacted Ty Dillon, loses control and hits the wall after getting involved with his brother. Yeah, right, siblings don't fight in real life, my butt. They most certainly do fight in real life. And this shows, by the way, it's every man for himself. Even if it's a sibling, it's every man for himself. But anyways, several drivers come down to pit road, and this time Taco Bell, Christopher Bell, wins the race on pit road, and Reddick leaves pit road when the fuel can is still attached to his car. After we get another goofy pit road incident, the caution ends with Hubba Bubba Wallace jumping to the lead, and of course, Lil Bow Wow and Ryan Blaney battle for fourth for Taco Bell as Christopher Bell gets past John Hunter Nematode for 6. Holy crapper, Free Willy is battling his teammate Larson. Oh man, the tides have turned. Ah crap, Logano is in second. But it doesn't matter as Hubba Bubba continues to lead. Taco Bell gets past Hamlin for third. He engages in the battle for second with Giggles Logano. Please don't have Joey Logano win a 7th championship or the 8th. I don't want to see it, man. Nematode is running in 8th, and once again, Legacy continues to surprise me. Taco Bell tries to get past Logano, but isn't able to do so. Hopefully, second time's a charm, or as I thought. Blaney and Larson are continuing to come closer to Hamlin. Don't let him get past you, man! Blaney manages to hold off Larson, which is impressive. Blaney gets taken out by Larson and causes another caution! Several drivers come down to pit road during caution. Hubba Bubba wins the race on pit road. The caution ends with Brad K jumping to the lead. Holy crapper! He still has it! He fell back after Hubba Bubba got past him and won the second stage of Gateway. Yep, Bubba Wallace won stage number 2. But anyways, several drivers come down to pit road as expected, and the third and final stage begins with Hubba Bubba jumping. Larson got past Logano for second. And just like that, a debris caution just came out. Seriously. Take a guess where that piece came from. Yep, it's Chastain. I just hope he bounces back at Bristol. And I know that Kyle Larson's gonna win Bristol because he dominated Bristol in springtime. Yeah, like, I know he's gonna win Bristol. Yeah, like, there ought to be no point in predicting who the winner's gonna be because it's Kyle Larson. He's good in Bristol. He's the freaking dominant force in Bristol. During the caution, we get an interview with Hubba Bubba's, or Bubba Wallace's new crew chief, Charles DeKnight. Yeah, he replaced Booty Barker this year. Anyways, the caution ends with Logano jumping to the lead. And Hubba Bubba just fell back as his car got stuck in gear. Dang it, just when Hamlin got past Logano, SVG loses control, hits the wall, and causes another caution. Because Hubba Bubba had tranny issues, He comes down to pit road and several more join in alongside him. No race off pit road this time. And Larson has issues on pit road, but anyways. The caution ends with Hamlin jumping to the lead. Yes! He got past Logano! Yes! Someone got past that freaking clown! Finally! Elliott tries getting past John Hunter Nematode, but isn't able to do so. Taco Bell struggles to get past Ty Gibbs and Chase Briscoe. And he also has to deal with Blaney. Logano is trying to get the lead from Hamlin, but Hamlin is hard to catch, especially when it comes closer and closer to him. Like, he tries to scare him like a freaking scary clown, because he tries to put the pressure on his opponent, but Hamlin will not go down without a fight. Taco Bell got fourth back from Gibbs. That's Ty Gibbs, by the way. Logano just can't manage to get past Hamlin, which is good. I really don't want to see Logano win. Logano's creeping up to Hamlin, but Hamlin holds him off. Lil Bow Wow is running in left, and that's Ox Bowman. Logano and Hamlin continue to go at it. Briscoe comes down to pit road. Meanwhile, Larson gets past Hubba Bubba. Just like that, Hamlin comes down to pit road, and Logano joins in alongside him. Logano is not able to hold off Hamlin after he leaves the pits. Chastain, Elliott, and Taco Bell make their green flag pit stops. Chase Briscoe and Denny Hamlin battle for the eventual lead. Lil Bow Wow and Ryan Blaney make the pit stops, and then out of nowhere, Ty Dillon loses control and causes the next caution right after his brakes catch fire. Oh, man, his day just got worse. Yeah, like, Ty Dillon, he is a driver you just have to feel bad for. Aside from Chastain, who is always going to be one of my favorite drivers, and always going to be a driver when I feel bad for when he gets involved in an incident. Several drivers pit in, but Brad K stays out. Lil Bow Wow just got penalized for going too fast off pit road. Dang it! This time, SVG wins the race off pit road. Wait, what? But anyways, the caution ends with Hamlin getting back to the lead after Brad K falls back to 5th and then 6th. At this point, there's no stopping him. Brad K continues to fall behind. Blaney and Elliott battle for third. Wait, how did Blaney get ahead so quickly? He got taken out by Larson earlier in the race. You saw it. Blaney gets taken out by Larson earlier in the race, and then all of a sudden he's in third. Yeah, like, how does Blaney manage to bounce back after getting involved in some of the worst string of incidents yet? Like, it's just like the Daytona 500, this year's Daytona 500. He got to 8th, even though his car was reduced to nothing. Meanwhile, contact ensues with Justin Haley and SVG. The battle for third continues, even with 7 to go. Hubba Bubba gets past Taco Bell for 7th, but Taco Bell got 7th back. He is not going to give up 7th so easily. With just 2 to go, it's now or never. No late race cautions, no losing control, just perfection. At least for Hamlin fans. And this time, Hamlin beats Briscoe for his win at Gateway. Yes, the hamster beat Disco Briscoe. Yeah, this race is by no doubt going to get mixed reviews, and put the icing on the cake, he did a long burnout just to show off. Goes to show how much of an ego he has. For Hamlin fans, it gets an 9 out of 10, especially when he won for his friend Bill Murray, but for the Hamlin haters, it gets a 6 or 5 out of 10. I know that some of my friends won't appreciate him winning, but at least some will. That's Denny Hamlin for you. You either love or hate him, but anyways. Here's last year's Gateway race if you want to see it, and there's bonus content in the end as it's meant to be a tribute to a certain team owner that just passed away. Here we go. Yeah, today I'm going to be reviewing one of the Ward Burton diecasts. Why? Because I'm going to do it in honor for Bill Davis himself, since he passed away. So yeah, this is one of the Ward Burton diecasts, and this one in particular is from 2002. And it's by Racing Champions. So yeah, it's a good looking diecast. Yeah, it's got turnable wheels. It even has an openable rear. Well, it has an openable trunk. But oddly enough, no openable hood. Yeah, the hood is fused into place, even though the engine does exist for it. Yeah, there's the engine molding on the bottom. Yeah, it's the transmission, but the engine molding is still there. It's still a cool diecast, though. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe that this is the same car that Ward Burton would go on to win the Daytona 500 with. At least a diecast representation of it. So yeah, it's got a lot of details for a diecast that you'll most likely buy in Walmart or Zellers. Yeah, back then Zellers still existed and you were still able to buy diecasts at retail stores. Yeah, I remember the good old days where you're still able to buy NASCAR diecasts in retail stores. Those are the days. Yeah. So yeah, in my opinion, it gets an 8 out of 10. And it's got an iconic paint scheme. And it's also a good tribute to Bill Davis himself. Keep in mind, Bill Davis has done a lot for the world of stock car racing. Bill Davis Racing was one of the first teams to use Dodges and has also brought Ward Burton to a Sovereign 500 victory. And he also won the Daytona 500. Yeah, Ward Burton won the 2002 Daytona 500. And Bill Davis Racing was also the team that was responsible for bringing Toyota into NASCAR. Yeah, they brought Toyota into the NASCAR Truck Series, and that actually turned out to be pretty good. But it didn't come without controversy, though, as Chrysler sued them for trying to support another manufacturer, and because of that, Bill Davis Racing had to run without Dodge badges in the NASCAR Cup Series until Toyota would start fielding cars in the Cup Series. And yeah, Bill Davis Racing was one of the first Toyota teams. Yeah, Toyota didn't do very well at first, but once Joe Gibbs Racing started getting a hold of Toyotas, they started winning. And Kyle Busch became the first driver to win with a non-American car since the 1950s. Pretty impressive if you ask me. So yeah, Bill Davis might be gone, but he'll never be forgotten, especially for the legacy that he left behind. And nowadays, Toyota is still racing in NASCAR. They are currently fielding 3 teams: Joe Gibbs Racing 2311 and Legacy Motor Club. Yeah, and this was all made possible thanks to Bill Davis himself. Never forget what he did for the accomplishments in stock car racing. So yeah, that is that. The link to last year's Gateway race is in the video itself. It's in the end of the bonus content. And you know the drill by now. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell just in case you haven't already done so. Catch you guys next time, and peace out.